What's up, fam? I'm Dr. J. Today we're going to be talking to you about what kind of student you are. And depending on what you are, we're going to give you 2 solutions to make you even better. I'm Dr. J.
And I'm Dr. C.
And welcome to Two Doc Minds.
Welcome to a Two Doc Minds, and like Dr. J said, we're going to talk to you about 4 different types of students. Which one are you? And we're going to give you several solutions on how to fix it, or just some ideas about thinking outside the box and looking a different way of changing your mind on how you want to be as a student. So let's talk about it. So Dr. J,
Yes.
Let's start. What kind of student are you? I want to hear at the end of this podcast what kind of student you are. So leave a comment, like, subscribe at the end of this video. I'm going to tell you what kind of student I am, and Dr. J is going to share what kind of student he is. So let's start with our first type of student. Dr. J, what do you think our first type of student is?
Is a procrastinator.
Okay.
All right, so that's somebody that puts some off. I got 10 days to do something. I'm going to wait 10 seconds on that 10th day before I do it. That's what a procrastinator is.
So for us, just to put a little bit of context behind it, possibly a procrastinator is, or for this student in this purpose, is someone who habitually delays or postpones tasks, assignments, and studying until the last possible second.
All right, so that's Webster's Dictionary version. Now I'm going to give you my version. My version is simple. Stop waiting to the last minute. The reason why you wait to the last minute, I'm going to tell you why. Because you maybe a perfectionist, maybe you're fear of failure, maybe you're scared of that success, right? Because you're pushing it off. See, sometimes we just don't recognize that we're sometimes afraid to succeed. So, right, I'm gonna break down what you need to do. If you do this, I promise you will be better.
Okay.
All you have to do is set a schedule. If I have 2 weeks to do a paper, right? I'm gonna write the first introduction outline day 1. That's just gonna be me, right? Day 2, I'm gonna start writing the first paragraph. Day 3, keep going. So when I get to the end, I got a good paper. Now I'm just reviewing it. And I'm not waiting to the last minute and hoping that I get a good grade. You know what I'm saying, Dr. D?
Absolutely. I think that we all have some characteristics that reflect on procrastination. Procrastination is a problem for everyone. But in this instance, when we're talking about students, we want to help you students out there to really just break those small or large tasks into manageable tasks. Break them down into little particles so you can do them, take control of them, and master that project that you are procrastinating about and become that better student that you're looking to become.
Before we continue, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe because we want to get our content out to everyone. But I want to make sure you do one thing, just one thing for me. Tell me what type of student you are in a comment. Or if you graduated, tell me what type of student you are in a comment and let us know who you are and how you fixed it. And are you going to use these tools to make you better? So Dr. C, now we're talking about our second student.
Yeah.
A go-getter. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our go-getter. These go-getters typically take extra time outside of their normal lectures, actually go to the professor and ask for extra credit when it's not necessary for their grade, or they just want to go that extra mile to do a great job. This speaks volumes to this type of a student who's a go-getter, who really wants to achieve big. Do you know what type of a go-getter, or do you have a good example of what you think a go-getter is?
Dr. C, absolutely.
Okay.
So is that go-getter is that person. See, it's always been pressure put on them by somebody, right? So their work and their quality reflects on who they are, right? If they do well, they feel good. If they do bad, they feel bad. It's their work is a reflection of them. So what I'd say, right, for all those go-getters, and I know that person in front of the class trying to make everybody see and feel that they smart and they got it together. And sometimes that's just a mask on who they are, right? So what I want them to do is, number 1, celebrate those benchmarks and win and just enjoy who you are. Don't tie yourself to being successful or being a failure to you. Listen, let me tell you, I got F's in college, right?
No.
I just took the class over and we kept it pushing, right? But I knew people that got F's and they got depressed. They got frustrated. I know some people that committed suicide at school and they took it too serious. Don't take it too serious. School is just a reflection of everything you do in life. You're going to do well and sometimes you're not. It's just how you handle it and you got to move on. So all you go-getters trying to be perfectionists, trying to showcase who you are, just enjoy the process, enjoy the ride.
And another big thing that happens to go-getters, if you will, is that they don't take the opportunity to embrace failure. I think failure teaches us all a lot. I've had so many failures. I just take it now, as I, of course, get a little bit older, as a learning lesson, as an opportunity for me to improve on something that I didn't know I could improve at and that I didn't know I was lacking. Failure can teach you so much.
Absolutely. I'm going to just give you a sample. My first university I got in, 2 years after I got kicked out because my grades were too low and I flunked out. I failed. I had to go back home, catch the bus back home and tell my dad I just got kicked out of school. Tell my mom I just got kicked out of school after they just paid all this tuition. I failed. But it didn't matter. I got back up and got a bachelor's degree. I got back up and got my master's degree. I got back up and got a doctorate degree. So it was a learning lesson for me to focus more on my studies instead of on the parties, right?
Absolutely.
And not procrastinate and get some of that work done, right? And once I figured that out, right, I became a better student. It was because I failed. It was the best thing that happened to me.
And now you're here today as Dr. J.
And with Dr. C.
Dr. C. So that's a great failure to reflect. So you considered yourself a go-getter?
Are we going to tell you at the end,
Oh,
right? You got to
okay.
wait to the end to get that content.
I like that.
So stay to the end of the video, and you're going to find out who Dr. C and me are, right? Which kind of students are. You kind of got a clue because I just told you. Let's go.
Absolutely.
What's the third one, Dr. C?
Our third type of student is a clueless student. Wow. A clueless student will feel lost in any educational situation. This type of student is in their own thoughts or dealing with something outside of the classroom. Clueless student, that's an interesting one. I haven't met too many clueless students that I know of because it sounds like these are more introverted types of people, but who knows? A clueless student seeks feedback and needs probably a little bit more guidance than the average student, asks teachers, mentors, or peers for feedback on their academic performance. So it seems like they need somebody to reassure them that they're doing okay, or they need extra nurturing to move to the next level. They're not like the go-getters.
No, they're different. So the way I see it, right, clueless students, say I go to a large university like the University of Maryland, right? That's where my daughter go, by the way. Go Terps.
Shout out.
Shout out to them Terps, right? But really what it is I'm in that large university, but I get lost in the sauce. The school is too big.
I gotcha.
It's not as personable like a smaller school.
Right.
So now I'm clueless on how I register for classes, how I perform in the class that has 300 students because I've always been in a small classroom. So now I'm clueless. What you have to do, what I urge you to do is find feedback. Talk to your teachers. Get study groups and friends. Talk to your peers. Talk to graduate students that have already been there and done it that you know, and get feedback on how do you get through those systems. Because a small or large class is not for everybody. Yeah. So it's critical that you do that. And so what I urge each and every person is to simply do this. For me, I strive in a smaller school atmosphere. Yes. When the teacher knows me, knows my quirks, knows my strengths, knows my weaknesses, I thrive. But when I get into a stadium class and I got 400 people and I'm just the last 4 digits of my social security number, listen, I'm only lost in that sauce, and normally I don't perform well.
Well, I want to have to slightly agree with you and slightly disagree with you, Dr. J, because I think as students, and we've been students for quite some time, we thrive in different situations for different reasons. I think, if it's a history class, do you really want, unless it's your major, not knocking history majors, do you really want to be one-on-one with a teacher? But if it's in your field of study, man, if it was me, I would want to sit front row. I have to know the teacher. I have to know the students. I have to have this growth in class that allows me to really feel like I'm really taking advantage of the subject matter. So I think it depends, Dr. J, on what situation is. But the clueless student should take your advice and should find ways to connect in better ways, in better situations, to really break out of that clueless box that they're in.
And you got to manage those distractions, Dr. C. It's critical. that when you feel like you're getting lost, eliminate the distractions, focus on your mentors and feedback, and you will be good. Yeah. You can't be lost and have distractions. You will never be able to regain your focus. So you have to get with teachers, get with counselors, get with peers, and eliminate those distractions and get really focused, right? And once you get it, and once you get it going in the right path, you will find yourself on the path to success.
Absolutely. So our last type of student.
And we may be one of these students, so keep staying with us.
Absolutely.
Because Dr. C and I is going to tell you who we are in just one moment.
The big reveal.
Right? So what's the last type of student we talk about?
The last one, oh my goodness, is the slacker. Now, what is a type of student that is considered a slacker? Slackers don't put in the effort. They are incapable of actually taking the task on and really conquering what the duties that they need to take on for it to be that go-getter, if you will, if that's the ideal type of student. They often drag on their coattails of their peers, so they take like credit for the work that their peers more than likely did, or they copy off of people's papers. I don't know. What kind of slacker have you recognized in your past history as a student?
I think I've seen about every type of student you can, and especially slackers, right? Because when you're talking about slacker, we're talking about, can you do your work and assignments on time? Can you do something as simple as just showing up? Like, show up. It's 9 o'clock class, you register, you pay for it, show up, right? And those are the type of folks that just need to show up. If you got a test, just open a book and study. Read a chapter, right? And don't put it in God's hand. Put it in your hands, some of it in your hands, right?
Yeah.
And so I met these students, and what I find out is that they need to be scheduled. Most of them just need a little discipline, right? So that they can understand how to get to class on time, how to get your assignments done on time, how to do all those things. And I would tell you to do this simply. Everybody got a phone. Everybody got a Google Calendar. Everybody got an Android calendar. You got a Microsoft calendar. You got something.
All the tools in your wheelhouse.
Buzz yourself.
Right.
Put yourself on the schedule. Right? Get with people that are more scheduled, and then just roll with them and follow them. Don't copy them. Just follow them.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think definitely taking notes from people who are able to do well, just watching them and seeing them and taking note is a useful way of trying to maybe change your situation and change yourself from being a slacker.
So just get a calendar. Get a planner. Get something. Right? Act like you interested in school, right? Or quit, right? Or drop out and waste your money on something else or spend your money on something else. But if you're a slacker, you probably need to reevaluate if you are ready to be a student, right? So that's it. So now we're going to really unveil who we are. So Dr. C, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'm definitely more of a go-getter. I think that, again, every situation, if you look at the student who procrastinates, we all probably exhibit some small level of each category, but I think that I'm more of a go-getter because when I'm in school, it just fills me up. I mean, it fills me with a whole lot of just ideas and innovative things that I could do different and just think and almost let my mind wander. So I am definitely a go-getter when it comes to being a student.
All right, so I'm not one, I'm two. Because I was two different students. I was a student before I flunked out, and now I'm going to talk about the student after I flunked out, right?
Oh, I got you.
So before I flunked out, I was a slacker. See, I told you, you had to reevaluate who you are and what you are. I had to flunk out and reevaluate who I was and what type of student I was. I was 100% a slacker.
Yes.
I went to a party before I went to school.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm talking about I party all night, woke up, and it was already past 12 o'clock, and I missed 2 classes. Right? I was committed to that.
Well, some people can party and be a slacker, and some people can party and be a go-getter.
I was partying, I was slacker. I was both. Party goer and a slacker. But then after I reset myself and got refocused, I actually became a procrastinator. But I was excellent at it. I actually timed my assignments out, right? Because I had one thing for you all to know. I worked full-time and went to school full-time.
So you were a go-getter, not a procrastinator.
No. I was a hustler, right?
Wow.
I went and got the easiest job I could to pay me the most money so I can use that money to pay for college.
Absolutely.
And then what I did was I got in the classes that would give me the least amount of assignments So, right, I like a class with a lot of lecture, right, or a presentation for a final, right, because I don't have to do as much work because I can talk, right? I talk all day. And so I found classes that I can procrastinate, right, where all doesn't fall on me at one time. So it was really critical what class and who I took so that I can get, right, I just wanted a C's so I can graduate. I never was a student that wanted the A's, right, because I didn't have time to do that. If I got a C, this was the type of student I was. I just need a diploma. I can talk my way into a job. And I graduated literally with a 2.1 GPA with an undergrad. And I got the job that I wanted. And we're going to talk to you about some interview skills that you can use to get your job of your dreams. So that content is coming very soon. So Dr. C, that's who I was.
I like that because actually, you know, we all could be, like I said, a little bit of each category. I think the idea that we take away from here is that even though you probably are one of these, what do you do about it? So we gave you some key things to move around so you could actually look at yourself and just use it to better yourself. If you're a procrastinator, if you're a go-getter, if you're a slacker,
come on,
or if you're a clueless student, these are the things that you probably can look at just to change it up a little bit so you can make your life a little bit easier and get the work that you need to get done in a better way.
And like I said, let us know what type of student you are.
Yes.
Hit it up in the comments section. Let us know.
Yes.
Let us know if this helps. Let me know if you got kicked out too, right? Like me and lost your financial aid, right? And your scholarship. Let me know if that was you, because that is critical for us to know who we are, but more important, use this advice to help you along your journey. And that's why we do this here at Two Doc Minds. So continue to listen. Again, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe because we give you that bomb content all day, every day.
And we have so much to share.
Oh, we got so much to share.
And we want to share your story as well. We share ours.
And we're going to start going live on Saturday evenings. We're going to call it, we don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to de-stress on Saturday night with you.
Let's do it.
Where you're going to be able to come and really let us know what your week been like. And we're going to give you some tips so that your next week can be even better. That's what we do. So keep a lookout for us. I'm Dr. J.
I'm Dr. C.
And thank you for watching the Two Doc Minds.
We'll see you later.